Hi boys and girls, it's Kimochi time. Kimochis are our friends, Kimochis are our friends. They are here to play with us, Kimochis are our friends. They have feelings too, they have feelings too. Happy, sad, and angry, just like me and you. Well done. It's so nice to see you again. And I hope that you enjoyed the story that you just listened to. Tomorrow, I will be brave. Today, we are going to be writing a little sentences, a sentence about a time that you were brave. So you're gonna need this little brave sheet, and on it is bug and a star, and it said, I was brave. And then we're gonna be finishing up that sentence. So I want you to think of a time where you had to put your brave in front of your scared and do something new. Think about it. So anytime we do something new, it's gonna be a little scary because we've never done it before. So I'm thinking of a time, and guess what? Kids have to be brave, parents have to be brave, pets have to be brave when they're learning a new trick. Everybody comes across a time where they have to be brave. So I've had lots of different situations in my life where I've had to be brave, and some are big things we have to be really, really brave for, and some are small. So I want you to think about a time where you had to be brave. So maybe what you should first think about is a time that was really scary for you. Maybe you moved to a new house. Maybe you moved to a new school and had to meet all new friends. Maybe you were brave when you had to get a flu shot. Or maybe you were brave when you had to speak in front of class. So I want you to think about it, something where you had to be brave. And it doesn't matter, it could be big brave or it could be small brave. But just remember, anytime you have to be brave, there's probably gonna be some scared feelings behind that. You might be afraid. And that's because when we try something new or when something happens to us that we've never experienced before, we have to be brave. Okay, so I was thinking of a time that I was brave, and it made me think of a time back when I was a teenager. And what happened was Mrs. Henry was my brother's 5 years older than me, and he's a big guy, and he thought it was funny like to wrestle with me. And so we were wrestling, and all of a sudden I heard this pop, and it was really scary because I've never heard a sound like that before. And my brother stopped and I stopped, and what happened was I could not lift my arm. So guess what? I broke my collarbone. So just by wrestling, I didn't fall. It was probably just the way that my arm was or something, but I broke my collarbone. And it was so scary. I had never broken a bone before. I'd never heard that sound before. And my mom was also in the room, and she said, when she knew that I couldn't lift my arm, she goes, we need to go to the hospital. And so I had to be really, really brave because I didn't know what was going on. And so my mom took me to the hospital. Of course, my brother felt so bad because he didn't do it on purpose. So I had to go to the hospital, and they had to take an x-ray to see what was going on. And I had a fracture. So a fracture is like a small crack in the bone. It wasn't completely broken, like in half, but it was a fracture in the bone. So my bone, your collarbone is what lifts up, gives you the ability to lift up your arm. So and they can't put a cast on that. It's such a weird bone to break. So I had to have a sling that just kept your arm really, really still. And it was really painful because every time especially when I was sleeping, because you move in your sleep and then it just hurts. But I was brave, it healed up, and now I can say that I know what it feels like to break a bone. So today, that's what I'm gonna write about. I'm gonna say I was brave, and I'm just gonna write right below here, above the little dotted line. So I'm gonna stretch out the words when. I was brave, when. So I know the digraph, WH, says wah. So I'm gonna start with that. When, n, and you can stretch out your words too. When I also know that I by itself always has to be capitalized. So I was brave when I broke. So I'm gonna say it really slowly and stretch it out. Brr. I hear B, O, k. And I know there's a mommy E at the end of that word from our secret stories, because mommy E makes sure that O is saying its name in the word broke. When I broke, and I'm gonna say a bone. When I broke a bone. B-O-N. Hey, mommy E is there also at the end of the word bone. And then I'm gonna make sure to finish up my sentence with a period. So, I was brave when I broke a bone. Period. So that's my sentence. So, I want you to think of a time that you were brave and finish that sentence. I was brave when I started a new school. I was brave when I got my flu shot. I was brave when I learned how to roller skate. I was brave when I rode a 2-wheel bike. So whatever your brave is, write it, finish your sentence, and then afterwards you get to color you're called your brave badge. So you can color it, and actually I'm gonna fast forward, I'm a really fast colorer. Sophia actually colored it for me. And so she didn't make bug the way bug usually looks. You can make your bug whatever color you want. You can make it red. You can make her the way she actually looks. Or you can make her however you'd like. And then I'm gonna cut my brave badge out, and I'm gonna show you a few cool things that you can do with it. You might have to finish up after the video is over, but I'm just cutting on the dotted lines so I don't cut off my writing. And it will look like this. And this is my little brave badge. And now you could either put this in your space, like in your workspace, if you have wherever you do your Zoom meetings, or Mrs. Henry has some ribbon. It was from a present, and I kept it, and you can use yarn, you could use string. I have a hole punch, and what a hole punch does is it makes a little hole. You can ask your family if they have one, and if not, you don't have to make this into a badge, but I put a little hole at the top there, and then I'm gonna string my ribbon through it like that, and I'm gonna just tie it here, and then I will have my very own brave badge, and I can wear it, or I can keep it in my workspace so that I maybe could have made it a little shorter. But this will remind me that everyone needs to be brave at some point, and that it's okay to feel afraid when you need to be brave, especially because it's something new that you're trying. So be brave We can all be brave, and this is a little reminder of this. Keep it in your space. Wear it if there's a time that you need to be brave, or hold it when you need to be brave. Whatever it does. And remember, brave is big, or it can be small. But we all can be brave. I know that you can do it. It's hard to do new things, but guess what? We can do hard things. All right, my friends, I'm so proud of you for being brave. Finish coloring your badge, making your badge, putting it wherever you want, your own special little place for it, wearing it if you want, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, brave boys and girls.